Her message to him early on was, don't waste your life by pursuing things that bring moral and physical ruin to your life. And live a life of concern for others. Verse 9, or verse 8, open your mouth for the speechless. In the case of all who are appointed to die, open your mouth, judge righteously, and plead the case of the poor and the needy. The world is still full of people who are poor and needy. Not only do they need in the physical realm, but they're poor and needy in the spiritual realm. She instilled in him a concern for those without, for those who were in need, to those who needed a champion of justice to stand up for them. There's a lot of things in the world today that are just not right. Brother Henry deals with government entities within the municipalities of Knoxville and Knox County all the time. And the way they do some people, poor people, people who can't do anything else, couldn't think about hiring a lawyer to defend themselves about some of the unreasonable levies that they're putting upon them. We have to stand up for people like that. If not, we'll be like the Pharisees who were guilty of assisting widows' houses of being consumed. She's trustworthy and faithful. Verse 11, the heart of her husband does safely trust in her. You know, men, we look for a lot of things in trying to find a wife. We look on the outward appearance, of course. That's the way men are built. Vernon's shaking his head. But there's a couple of young men in here today, and I want you to tell you that beauty is just on the outside. It's only skin deep. I can't remember who the wise man was that once said that, but what's on the inside is what's the most important thing. How she thinks, and she tells Solomon here that she should be trustworthy. You could trust her. We are fortunate here, man, this morning. We have wives that we can trust because we know they'll do us no harm. They might say something occasionally, Francis, like, but all in good fun. Amen? She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Sister Francis and Brother Amos and Sister Esther and I, we have had mothers who were like that, who would never ever think of doing something against their husbands. That's virtuous. She's industrious. My wife is very industrious. That's why she wasn't at the party last night. She was working. She's always been that way. I worked 12, 14, 16 hours a day, and she's worked 2 jobs. To make ends meet, to have a little extra, to provide something special for her children, to have a little added security. She's industrious. She seeks wool and flax and works willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. She rises also while it's yet night and gives meat to her household. I heard that Jeanette was an early riser. She rises also while it is yet night, and gives meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. She considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands she plants a vineyard. She girds her loins with strength and strengthens her arms, and perceives that her merchandise is good. Her candle does not go out by night. She lays her hand to the spindle and her hands to the distaff. She's busy.